Good morning, everyone. So we're going to make an art piece today that has to do with math, actually, which is so cool. And I'm not very good at math myself, so if I can do it, you can all definitely do it. So I'm calling it a symmetrical collage, which we'll talk about, and it's with circles and fractions. So this is my collage. If you can see it, I'll try to change this view so you can see the whole thing. So there's my whole collage, and it's symmetrical, right? Which means if you were to put a line down the middle, it would be roughly the same on both sides. So we're going to practice symmetry in making our collage. And I used a magazine. You can use colorful construction paper, or if you have paper that has patterns on it, that's fine. It's really totally up to you. So I'm just going to put you back up here. And then I think it looks better the other way, but when I make mine, I'll turn it this way. I'll make it this way so it's easier to see in the video. So when I talk about fractions and circles, I made this whole art piece by tracing circles onto magazines and cutting them in different size fractions. So we have a whole, halves, quarters, and eighths. So quarters would be fourths. So as you can see here, we have whole circles, half circles, quarter circles or fourths, and then eighths, which are the smallest ones. So we're gonna go over that one more time. I've got 4 circles here. So I'm going to take a ruler or a straight edge. It doesn't have to be a ruler. And this one is gonna be a whole circle. So we're just gonna label that as 1. If we want to cut a circle in half, we're going to take our ruler and put it just roughly in the middle. And really, you don't even need a ruler for making your circles. I'll show you why, but this is just a guide. So if you want to make a guide for yourself like this one, a ruler or a straight edge works great. So I'm going to put a line down the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this would be a half circle, right? And this would be another half circle. So then if you want to cut your circle into 4s, or make your circle into 4s, you're going to start the same way as you would a half, right? Put a line down the middle so you have 2 half circles. Then you're going to almost make like a plus sign, and you're going to make a line going straight across. So now you've got 1/4. So this is 1/4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 that make a whole, right? And this is one of those. I'm really bad with fractions. So again, if I can do this, you can totally do this because I'm the worst math person in the world. So now I'm gonna make eighths. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did for my quarters. I'm gonna make that plus sign. But then I'm gonna add 2 more lines. So I'm gonna go in the center of this plus sign, or in this one and this one, and I'm gonna make a line going diagonally. Then I'm gonna go the other way and make another diagonal line. So that's how I'm getting my 1/8. Oops, I must have gotten something on this marker. 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, and 1/8, right? So remember 1, then you've got 2, so 1/2 of 2, the other half of 2. Then you have fourths, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 4. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have eighths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like a pizza. So there's all of our circle, like our circle guide for the shapes we're going to be using. And again, I have black paper, so I put mine on black paper. You could put yours on white paper. You could put it on colorful paper if you have it. And then if you've got magazines, colorful paper, really anything. Sometimes I collage with old cards that nobody wants to use anymore. And then, newspaper would also be fine. Maybe old drawings that you have, whatever, be resourceful, whatever you've got. So I'm going to leave my guide here. And then I just want to see, maybe I'll put my artwork like this for now so that you guys can see the whole thing. So I don't need my ruler anymore, and I'll show you why. I do need a yogurt cup. So if you have anything round that you can trace, that's super helpful just in making your circles and making things easy. So I ripped out a bunch of magazine pieces. I tried to find things that had interesting like patterns on them. So there's some food. I thought this city skyline was good. This I already traced some circles on that food. It's very beautiful Tiffany's ring. That I would love to be mine. More food. So again, I just look for magazines. Oh, this one was from my husband's if you like dirt bikes, or I think this might be snowmobiling actually. But these helmets I thought were cool patterns. So I would just try to find something that would be interesting to you in terms of shapes. I think right now I'm going to keep this one out. So I'm going to start with making my biggest circles and go all the way to smallest. So I'm going to start by making, I think I'm going to do 3 whole circles. And what's good is if I cut too many circles, oh actually, can I fit this one? If you make more circles than you need, it kind of works out because you could use it for, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Because that's not exactly, yeah, I'm not going to use that one. All right, we'll start with 2. And then I'm going to make one right in these flowers. Okay. So I'm just going to cut these out. And then I use a Sharpie because it's kind of hard to see the magazine. So if you have like a marker that you can use to draw with, it's just sometimes hard, or a pen even. A pencil is kind of hard to see on the magazines. So again, I'm excited about this. I think it's kind of fun to make a design, and then as soon as I start gluing stuff on, we'll talk more about symmetry. So I know that I think we did an art project, I'm trying to think of which one it was, that kind of dealt with symmetry already. So remember that symmetry is when something is the same on both sides. So if you were to cut it in half, it would look the same on both sides to the best of your ability. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some things that are symmetrical are people and bugs, insects, right? Animals are symmetrical. Oops, okay. So sometimes I realize that it's a little, magazines are very touchy. They're very kind of thin, so I have to be careful cutting that I don't rip them. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my 2 circles. And again, I want this picture to be symmetrical, so I'm gonna put them in the middle to kind of give myself a start for where I want my designs to go. So I'm using a glue stick. You can use wet glue. You could even use tape if you don't have glue, but you have tape. I would just tape the back so that you don't see the tape on your paper. Hope you guys are having a good day so far. The weather's kind of dreary, which is no fun, but hopefully it'll get better. It's gonna be May on Friday, so that'll be exciting. Okay, so this is easy to make symmetrical, right? Because I just put 2 circles right in the middle. So if I were to draw a line, bam, there's my circles. I just want to get the edge of this. So now we can focus on the next type of circle, which would be our half circles. So I'm going to cut out some circles. Maybe I'll do these ones. I won't be able to fit one on this one. So I'm going to start with 2, and then if you need more, so there's 1 circle, I'll make the other one. I thought these lemons were pretty cool looking. They had a lot of texture. Okay, so I'm going to cut these out. Sorry, this video might be a little bit on the longer side just because I have to do some talking, but I'll try to go as quick as I can. And with making the half circles, I'm going to show you how to make this a little bit easier and not use a ruler for when you need to make your half circles and quarter circles and eighth circles. A little trick that I discovered. Goodness, these plants are so pretty. I do not have a green thumb at all. I kill all plants on accident. My husband is much better at planting than me. Okay, so now to make half circles, and I can do it in one shot, I'm going to take both my circles, fold them in half, make a good crease, and then I just unfold it enough to see the folds. And then I'm just going to cut right along the fold. Bam! Now I've got my half circles. So now I can decide how I want to line them up. So maybe I'll start with that. Does that look cool? We'll roll with it. Okay, so again, symmetrical, so we wanted to do the same on both sides. Obviously the patterns won't be the same, that's okay. Okay. Can you hear Frozen music? Libby's been watching some Disney movies, which I think has been fun for me because I like watching them too. So sometimes we watch Frozen and Moana. She usually falls asleep though. Okay, so there's my whole circles, half circles. Next they're going to be quarter circles. So I'm going to go with this is cool. I'm going to go with this living room. Okay, I'm going to start here, I think, because I think the blue looks cool. Okay. And again, I'm just going to cut these out, and then I'm going to show you my trick again to make quarters and make it a little bit easier. And you might not even use all the pieces that you cut out. And if in your collage, like I made just a design, a symmetrical design, it wasn't of anything, so it's just a pattern. But if you want to make something, like you could definitely collage like a person's face or an animal, or I mean those would all be a little challenging, so I'm not gonna you do whatever makes you happy. But if doing a design isn't as exciting, you could make a flower, any kind of collage that you want. I have another paper lesson this week too, so if you want to pick a different art lesson, you can keep checking my YouTube channel for different ideas. Okay, so I'm going to take my two circles, put them on top of each other, fold them in half, and now this is where it gets crazy. I'm going to fold them in half again. So now I've made not just a half circle, but a fourth of a circle, right? A quarter. So I'm going to unfold it once after I made the crease so that I can cut it. Okay. And then I'm going to unfold it again so that I can see the half. And my cutting's not perfect. It's hard for me to see where the fold is sometimes. So it's totally okay if yours isn't perfect. Okay. And then same thing here. Bam. And then you can kind of see too, like sometimes things will surprise you and you'll notice a pattern on the other side that you like. So far that's a no, but I tried. Okay, so now I can think about making another pattern that is symmetrical. And again, you can overlap if you need to. So I think I'm going to start with this. And then maybe So I think like lining them up is fun. Figuring out where you want things. Okay. And then you go ahead and glue. So again, sorry if this video is a longer one. I just wanted to make sure you saw how it was all done. And again, I am like the worst at math. One time before I became an art teacher, I had to sub in a 5th grade classroom and I had to teach them math and it was so scary. I just had no idea. So good job, Miss Merrill and Miss Marhefka, Mr. Posner, and all the 5th graders, because I would be clueless. Fractions especially, actually, are very frightening to me because I have no idea how to add them. Okay. But if I see them visually, like how I'm making them visually, that really helps me. So, okay, last one. And now for the last type of circle, and I mean, if I had more time, I might even add more quarter circles and half circles, but just for video's sake, I'm gonna keep going. So I think I like these flowers a lot, so I don't think I can fit 2 circles though. No, I'll just do one right smack in the middle. And actually, I only really need 1 circle for the 8th one, especially for time's sake, and that way you guys can be on your way to making your artwork or other things that you want to do today. And when you cut it into 8ths, you get a lot of pieces. So 1 circle, like I only needed 1 circle for my example that I showed you. Wow. And I try to cut like inside my Sharpie line so that my Sharpie line isn't on my circle pieces. You can also trace your circle on the back, but it's hard because I wanted it in a certain spot, so I needed to see where I was putting my circle. Okay, so last one, we're going to remember fold in half, right? And then we're gonna fold it again. So this would have been the quarter one, right? But this time we're gonna go super crazy and fold it one last time. So now I have a really small triangle piece. Okay, I'm gonna unfold it once, cut those pieces. Oh my goodness, my eyes are so bad. Oh, couldn't see. Okay, then I'm gonna unfold it again. So here's my 1/2 of my 8ths. And then I'm going to take these 2 pieces, and remember these are the quarter size, right? So I have to cut them one more time. Woohoo! These are all my 8ths. Okay, so now I get to decide where to put them. I haven't done much up here, so I definitely want to get some pieces up here. And remember, symmetrical, so anything I do over here, I'm not going to also repeat over here. Okay, maybe this? Maybe like that? Or maybe we'll make like that. Oh, I can't decide. Hold on. What if we do something like that? That looks kind of cool. And we'll keep these kind of in the corner. What do you think? It's so hard to decide. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna wing it. We're just gonna go like that. All right, I'm gonna let it go, just like Elsa. Oh my God, gosh, I think I'm losing my mind, everyone. Miss Kowalski really needs to go back to her classroom. Okay, so again, I made my art piece with circles. We made fractions. So we did a whole circle, right? We have 2 whole circles. We did half circles, and we did quarter circles, and then we did 1/8 circles, which if you think of it like a pizza, it makes it more exciting because pizza is delicious. Okay. And if you make one of these, I'd love to see a photo. I hope you have fun with them. Again, you can look for any kind of materials that you have. Doesn't have to be magazine. Whatever makes life easier for you. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoy making our collage. Oops, I'm so sorry if you couldn't see that part the whole time. Okay, have an awesome day. Talk to you soon. Oh, and actually also you can look at, you know, you can move your collage around and see if you like it better, whichever way, but I think it looks like this. Kind of like planets, which are cool. Okay, have a great day.